and happy almost summer. Those of us local here, we are on the countdown, the very last week of kids getting out of school for the summer, and that means we need to also change up our morning routines. Yes, we won't have to get up early and do the carpool mama and so forth, but do we really want to put on a full face of liquid foundation right before going to the pool or running kids to day camps? If you're like me and you love the full coverage of the liquid to powder foundation, then you're going to love the loose powder foundation. This was just recently released, and it's going to be a much better alternative for you to not have as many layers, so to say. So with this, you actually will do your daily moisturizer and sunscreen. You will do your primer, and then you will apply the loose powder foundation. It's a fantastic new product. I wanted to show you how it is used. I wanted to show you what full coverage you still receive, just like the liquid to powder foundation. And don't go throwing away that liquid to powder foundation. It's fantastic. You're going to the office every day. If you're going out at night, absolutely 100% use it. This is just my all new fave for going on those errands and maybe going to the gym, maybe running to the swimming pool, yet still having that full coverage. So let me show you here what it looks like. It's the Touch Loose Powder Foundation, just like the liquid to powder foundation, the exact same colors. We just have it in this nice little, it's almost like a little trampoline. It's a very loose mesh that you just gonna swirl your brush in. And the brush I prefer to use is the new, it's a powder and concealer brush. It's fantastic. So if you have been following me for a while and you use the Powder Puff brush, this is just a little bit smaller, fits a little bit better in here to swirl. And then I just kind of shake a little bit off to make sure I don't get too much and start right at the top here with just blending in circles. You can already see how it's giving me some nice full coverage here. I intentionally went with one that had just a little bit more color in it because I like to look like I have some color in my face. Now, there is a fine line between looking like you have color in your face and looking like you have the wrong shade. So just be certain that you ask for color matching. Look at the difference already. Full coverage, nada. Pretty cool, huh? So I already have some concealer on. I do things a little bit backwards with this because it is like a really quick out the door routine. Be sure you do apply your primer underneath this. Before the video started, I already had done that, as well as put my moisturizer and so forth underneath. I have already done my eyebrows. I had already done my eyes and a little bit of mascara, just so you could get the full picture of what the coverage looks like with the face completely done. Make sure to blend down on that neck if you're like me and you go a little bit darker with the shade. Already I have amazing full coverage. Now, what's really cool about this too is this other end of the brush. If you have your concealer on and you feel like your concealer is a lot lighter, you know how I teach you how to do the V's, you can just take the other end of that brush and kind of swirl right along the edge of where you would have those V's. Blend the concealer and blend the loose powder foundation. Okay, so that is Summer Essential number 1. Summer Essential number 2 is, of course, the Beachfront Bronzer. All of us like to look like we have a little glow. Here's that old trusty Powder Puff brush. Just go around the edges of the face. That's all you need, just a little bit of a glow. Summer Essential number 3 is the blush. You have to have some pink in those cheeks, ladies. I know a lot of you don't like to use anything but bronzer, but put a little bit of color in those cheeks, and what a world of a difference it makes to have you look awake and healthy. And as I mentioned before, we just kind of do the dab method, okay? Now, again, if you're like me and you put it on, I don't want that bold of a blush look. Just take your dry Powder Puff brush, blend. So it's a nice soft transition now, rather than having some bold pink lines. And Summer Essential number 4 is our new translucent setting powder. The setting powder is, again, just like the loose powder foundation, has its cute little trampoline in the middle. You can take the other end of your fan brush, You can get a little bit out of there. And you're just gonna swipe across your forehead really nicely with the fan brush. Kind of go at a little angle from the cheekbone down here, down the nose, out here, and across the chin. Now, what does this do? This is going to absorb any of the humidity and moisture that's starting to bead on your face in the summer. It's going to, for photos, it has these little cool light refractors. So if you have a picture taken, it's actually going to bounce right back off and give you this beautiful glow. So it's a nice setting powder. It makes everything transition smoothly. And then, of course, you have the convenience of it kind of sopping up some of that moisture as you're sitting there at the pool doing this usually, okay? So the very last summer essential I have is actually a tie. It's a tie between two of my new favorite summer lip glosses. This is the Lucid, this is the Lunar. Depending on if you're a pink girl or not, would depend on which one you would go with. I'm a pink girl, so I tend to go with Lunar. But I certainly have my days where, Lucid, but I certainly have my days where I lean towards the Lunar, where I want a little bit more of a subtle look. Maybe I've done a lot of pink on my eyes and I don't want to just look like one big ball of cotton candy. So then I'll lean towards this Lunar and do a very nude lip. The Lunar has a little touch of pink in it. These lip glosses are incredibly moisturizing. They add just enough, just a tiny bit of color. They have a fantastic mirror on the back. So if you need to check it out while you're at the pool, you're out to dinner and so forth, I just rub it in. If I feel like I got a little excess, I take my finger and just kind of spread it, and those are my summer essentials. So as you can see, without the eyes, which is very minimal today, without the brows, it took us 5 minutes at max to do our full face. If you are interested in learning about my summer essential eyes, check out my next video coming. Very, very conservative, but still look like you're alive. So let me know if you guys have any questions, if you need any color matching. Again, this is the new Loose Powder Foundation. This is the blusher, bronzer around the edges, set it with the translucent setting powder, a little bit of Lucid on the lips, and you're ready to go. Have a good one, everybody.